Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, your go-to source for critical updates in the evolving world of global currencies. A groundbreaking update has just been confirmed, and it could shape the financial future of Iraq and ripple far beyond its borders. According to the latest release from the Iraqi Gazette, the nation has officially rolled out a structured two-phase exchange rate strategy aimed at transforming the Iraqi dinar's role on both the domestic and global stage. Whether you're a long-time IQD holder, an investor tracking Iraq's economic rebuild, or someone trying to understand what's next in the world of revaluations, this development deserves your full attention. The Central Bank of Iraq, after years of attempting to stabilize the dinar using conventional tools, has now confirmed its move toward a bold and carefully phased currency realignment. This plan, laid out through official channels, outlines a methodical path toward strengthening the dinar's value, both in terms of domestic buying power and international credibility. With the announcement, Iraq's leadership is signaling that it intends to rebuild trust, encourage investment, and provide economic stability for its citizens through clear benchmarks and achievable goals. The strategy is broken into two stages. Phase 1 involves an immediate correction to the official exchange rate. Unlike previous small adjustments, this is a deliberate and strategic change aimed at addressing inflation head-on while lifting the purchasing power of Iraq's population. For years, citizens have grappled with inflated costs on imports and declining savings value. This shift isn't just a number adjustment, it's a critical step toward creating real economic relief and restoring trust in Iraq's financial institutions. Phase 2 is where deeper transformation unfolds. Rather than rushing into a single sweeping revaluation that could destabilize markets or overwhelm infrastructure, Iraq is choosing a more deliberate course. This gradual realignment gives time for businesses to recalibrate, for financial systems to adapt, and for ordinary Iraqis to prepare. The plan is likened to ascending a staircase rather than scaling a cliff. Each step is designed to bring the exchange rate closer to a value that better represents oil-backed economy and long-term potential. This strategy is built on the understanding that rapid, unchecked changes can be harmful. A sudden shift in currency value could disrupt contracts, spark price confusion, and strain banking systems. But by adopting a step-by-step roadmap, the central bank is creating an environment where businesses can adjust pricing, investors can reposition portfolios, and citizens can approach the changes with informed confidence. For many Iraqis, this change represents more than a currency issue. It's about regaining hope in their economic future. The broader goal of this two-phase reform is to anchor the dinar in a position of sustained strength. A more valuable, stable currency enables access to better trade terms, boosts national pride, and supports household stability. Everyday Iraqis stand to benefit through improved affordability, greater saving potential, and the opportunity to participate in local economic growth. Foreign investors, too, are paying close attention. Iraq's commitment to a transparent, phased exchange rate policy sends a strong signal to the global market. A stable currency opens the door for international partnerships, new business ventures, and large-scale infrastructure development. Capital only flows where there is predictability and strategic governance. And this announcement, backed by the Iraqi Gazette, suggests both are finally falling into place. To help ensure success, the government is now focusing on public communication and financial literacy. One of the historic pitfalls of prior reforms was the lack of public clarity, which led to panic and misinformation. This time, Iraq is approaching the transition differently. By launching awareness campaigns, engaging local leaders, and making economic information more accessible to everyday citizens. This transparency is more than just good PR. It's a foundational piece of any serious monetary reform. When people understand what's happening, they're more likely to support the changes and contribute positively to the economy's stability. Still, change of this scale doesn't come without friction. The path from Phase 1 to Phase 2 will likely involve fluctuations in pricing, especially for basic consumer goods and imported items. This short-term volatility is normal in major monetary transitions. To reduce impact, Iraqi authorities are working on targeted support measures for low-income households. These protections aim to ease the burden for vulnerable families and ensure that the reform benefits all layers of society, not just those at the top. What this means for day-to-day life in Iraq is significant. If executed successfully, the two-phase plan could increase household buying power, preserve savings, and support job growth. Parents may find it easier to save for education, entrepreneurs might be more willing to invest in startups, and retirees could finally rely on their pensions maintaining value. The ripple effects reach far and wide. Now let's turn our attention to the global implications of Iraq's newly confirmed revaluation roadmap. The response from international observers has been a mix of cautious optimism and heightened interest. Neighboring nations, financial institutions, and multinational investors are all closely watching how this two-phase exchange rate plan unfolds. A successfully managed dinar reform could position Iraq as a leading economic force in the region, something that seemed almost unimaginable not long ago. If Iraq can demonstrate stability, transparency, and consistent progress, the revaluation could unlock stronger trade relationships, especially with partners in Turkey, the Gulf states, and beyond. It could also serve as a blueprint for other post-conflict nations seeking to rebuild their economies through intelligent, measured financial strategies. What's happening right now in Iraq isn't just significant locally. It may very well have global impact if managed properly. Key technical element in the strategy is what economists call the Real Effective Exchange Rate, or REER. This metric goes beyond surface-level currency values by factoring in inflation and trade dynamics with Iraq's major partners. The goal is not only to raise the dinar's nominal value, but also to increase its purchasing strength in practical terms. It's a reminder that a healthy currency isn't just about optics. It must also deliver real value to its people and perform competitively on the international stage. One of Iraq's biggest advantages in supporting this effort is oil. As the nation's most important export and the backbone of government revenue, oil plays a critical role in backing the strength of the dinar. When global oil prices are high, Iraq's foreign currency reserves grow, making it easier for the central bank to defend and stabilize the new exchange rate. But oil isn't a guaranteed safety net forever. Recognizing this, Iraq's leadership is also pursuing diversification, with goals to strengthen sectors like agriculture, tourism, and technology to ensure long-term economic resilience. So, what can Iraqis and those watching from abroad do right now to prepare for the transformation ahead? The first step is staying informed. Don't rely solely on social media or speculation. Follow official announcements, attend community meetings, and engage with credible financial news sources. Next, begin personal financial planning. For business owners, this may mean reviewing pricing strategies and supply chains. For families, it's a good time to revisit savings goals and household budgets. Understanding where you stand today makes it easier to adapt when changes come into effect. It's important to remember that Phase 1 has already launched. The second phase will unfold gradually, giving everyone a window to prepare. But that doesn't mean you should delay taking action. Smart preparation is often the difference between opportunity gained and opportunity missed. Make your plans now, while you have time to think clearly and act strategically. What's the sentiment on the ground? Reactions vary. Some citizens are hopeful, viewing the plan as a long-awaited leap forward. Others remain skeptical, citing past government promises that failed to materialize. However, there's growing acknowledgement that this time feels different. The presence of a detailed public roadmap from the Iraqi Gazette, combined with public engagement and media outreach, suggests that the leadership is taking this shift seriously. Rebuilding trust won't happen overnight, but each step taken in the right direction adds credibility to the larger effort. This two-phase exchange strategy is one of the clearest signs yet that Iraq is moving with intention and structure rather than reaction. It's about more than just changing the value of a currency. It's about redefining how a country handles its financial future and how its people can benefit from it. Looking ahead, the successful rollout of this plan could bring real transformation, a globally respected dinar, robust job markets, improved infrastructure, and a higher standard of living for all Iraqis. But the plan's success hinges on consistency and follow-through. It's not just about what was announced, it's about how it's implemented in the months ahead. The formal confirmation through the official Gazette adds a level of legitimacy that previous efforts lacked. It shows that this isn't a rumor or isolated decision. It's government-backed, publicly acknowledged, and part of a bigger national initiative. For those who have held on to hope for a brighter economic future, this moment could represent a real shift from aspiration to execution. As we close today's special coverage, keep in mind that currency reforms are complex. They take time, planning, and patience. But what Iraq is attempting now, with its phased approach, international signaling, and domestic reforms, is a serious step toward economic reinvention. If done correctly, this could mark the beginning of a new chapter for Iraq and its citizens. So how do you feel about Iraq's revaluation plan? Does this two-phase approach give you more confidence than past announcements? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If this report helped you better understand the current situation, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Iraqi Dinar News for continuing coverage of all major updates. Stay smart, stay informed, and stay hopeful. Iraq's financial future is being rewritten, and you're witnessing it in real time.